OMG, Caitríona Sam finally address their passionate chemistry behind the kisses in Tea Macy. The wordless glance, Caitríona Balfe and Sam Heughan, two names that have become synonymous with the hit series Outlander. But even though audiences around the world have watched every glance, every touch, every passionate kiss on screen, there is still one question that has never been clearly answered. Is their chemistry just acting, or is there more to it? For nearly a decade, fans have been weaving thousands of theories, from the looks Sam gives Caitríona backstage, to the times she sneaks a hold of his hand during live interviews. Even though both of them always keep their distance when asked, there is one thing that everyone can see. Between them, there is something that cannot be hidden, a fire that burns behind every frame. Then, in an exclusive interview to mark Outlander's 10th anniversary, Caitríona and Sam finally spoke up, honestly and without reservation. "We can't fake it forever." The interview was filmed in a small studio in Edinburgh. There were no bright lights, just two ash-grey armchairs, a cup of hot tea and the sound of rain pattering on the windows. Caitríona sat across from Sam. She was wearing a burgundy turtleneck, her eyes soft but determined. Sam, tall and handsome as ever, looked a little nervous. He held his cup of tea in his hands, turning it slightly as if considering each word he was about to say. "A chemical reaction?" Sam smiled, looking at Caitríona. "We've been avoiding that question for, how many years?" "Probably the same age as a primary school kid," Caitríona replied, half-jokingly. They laughed, but then fell silent for a few seconds. Their eyes met, and anyone watching could sense something was moving. The first moment, Sam recalls the first time they met at the 2013 audition. "I arrived a few minutes early. When Caitríona walked in, I thought, oh, this is Claire. And as soon as she sat down, we started talking. I remember, there was a moment, when she looked at me and said Jamie's name, I really forgot I was acting." Caitríona smiles. "I felt that too. Not because he was handsome, but because there was something in Sam's eyes that made me feel safe. It was real. It was deep. Even the director admitted afterwards that they couldn't have cast anyone else. Their chemistry didn't need a director. It was there. There are kisses that don't need to be directed." When asked about intimate scenes in Outlander, Caitríona hesitated for a moment, then decided to let it go. "We don't always follow the script completely. Sometimes the director just says, this scene is about two people finding each other after a long time apart. Let the emotions guide you. And, sometimes, we really let the emotions guide us." Sam continued, "We trust each other so much that we forget the cameras are there. There are kisses that really don't need to be acted out. That's the truth." The room was silent for a few seconds. The interviewer barely dared to breathe. Blurred lines. Over the years, Outlander has captivated millions of viewers around the world with its heartwarming love story between Jamie Fraser and Claire Randall. But for Caitríona Balfe and Sam Heughan, the two characters who play them, they sometimes wonder. Am I still acting, or is this feeling real? Between two worlds, film and real life. Caitríona once shared, "When you spend 12, 14, even 16 hours a day with someone, when you have to look into their eyes and express your love for 9 months of the year, the lines between film and real life start to blur." Sam nods in agreement. "There were times when we were shooting scenes where Jamie and Claire were arguing, then hugging. The emotions were so intense that I couldn't get out of character, even when the cameras were off. I'd look at Caitríona, and sometimes I'd have to remind myself, she's my co-star, not Claire." One of the moments they both recall is the scene where Jamie and Claire reunite after a misunderstanding in season 1. "It was a completely unscripted kiss," Caitríona says. "We just felt like it was the right thing to do." There was no direction, no discussion. Sam leaned down, I looked up, and we kissed as if we forgot the whole crew was watching. Sam smiles as she recalls, the whole set was dead silent. No one cut for almost a minute. Then the director just said, let's do it like that, the truth behind the steamy scenes. Outlander is famous for its bold, yet always emotional and artistically charged intimate scenes. The main couple are praised not only for their sexy looks, but also for the genuine emotional connection they convey. The interviewer asks directly, have you ever come close to crossing the line of being co-stars? Caitríona laughs, not shying away, we're human. And when you're working with someone who has the same energy, security, and respect, there are always moments when you want to move on. But, she continues, we know what's most important, our careers, our friendship, and our trust. Once you lose any of those three, everything falls apart. Sam nods, we love each other very deeply, but we also know that we have a responsibility to keep that love within the framework, and that's why this relationship is strong. Friendship or more. Fans were excited when Sam gave Caitríona a turquoise necklace on her birthday. Or the time Caitríona publicly said that Sam is the person who makes me feel like I can be myself. Sam always protects Caitríona as if she is an inseparable part of his life. At a press conference, when a male reporter asked an indecent question about a hot scene, Sam immediately replied, I won't let anyone talk about her like that. They don't need to publicly declare their love, don't need to appear hand in hand at every event, but the way they look at each other, talk about each other, protect each other, is the clearest proof. We have our own language. At the end of the interview, when asked what makes their chemistry so special, Sam simply replied, we have our own language, the eyes, the silence, the light touches, that no one else understands but the two of us. Caitríona nodded, her eyes sparkling. It's a connection that goes beyond words. It doesn't need to be explained.